cold of a silent past. The moon in silver cast, it shine a vision quest. For us it gives no rest. Through the beat of time, the flowing waves of rhyme, we are guided by old and salty night. The sea of night running dark in our veins, as life will wax and wane. Like music we'll hear your waves once more, and sail to another shore. On the dreaming sea, when darkness sets us free, free of our worldly cares, we become corsairs, and into wondrous worlds we go with sails unfurled, to battles lost and won, to madness and beyond. The sea of night running dark in our veins, as life will wax and wane. Like music we'll hear your waves once more, and sail to another shore. On the branches of life's tree, witness reality, split up into myriad lives beyond all divides. We have been warriors, poets and elder gods, brought back a bounty to our homeland and you. The sea of night raging fire in our veins, as life will wax and wane. Like music we'll hear your waves once more, and sail to another shore. Ignite the drive in your soul. It's calling you. Are you brave enough to be a fool? I'm so harder. Don't try to me away. No.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to The Siege, or good morning, good evening, and welcome back. How are you doing, folks? It is 2024, and we're back. Yay! Whoop. Hi! Hi. Wait. Did it actually? Give me a second. Oh, that's interesting. Wait, why did I not? No, that's the wrong direction. That's more like it. We have to see what we are going into gaming mode, if we are going into gaming mode, because I will be honest, I have absolutely no clue if we are playing any video games today. Because we have a lot to talk about. Like, seriously. We have tons of stuff to talk about. There has been quite a bit of gaming news already, and then I want to talk a little bit about what we have planned. And so there's a lot of managing things we have to do. If we decide to play some games, maybe we play some Fae Farm. We're checking that out for the first time, or we are starting our Toonstruck playthrough. Like, should be doable in the time. Like, it's a relatively short game, depending on how smart you are. Keep in mind, the last time I played this, I was a kid, and I never finished it. I don't remember anything besides if I actually liked it, but I never could make it through the game because maybe I was like 7 or 8 years old, and you couldn't just look up things on the internet. So if you wouldn't figure it out, you wouldn't figure it out, and you would be stuck for days, if not even weeks. So, yeah. But it's apparently a very short game. I installed it. I actually made a run in quasi 60:9. It's not fully 60:9. It's a little bit weird. It's like 16:8, whatever that is. And it's not stretched or anything. Like, it looks good, right? I compared it in 4:3 and 16:8, and I was like, wait a minute. This looks like the same. How is that? Okay, well, look, it's the same thing with when I'm playing Airline Tycoon. Airline Tycoon is running like on full screen, 16:9, not stretched out resolution, and I'm like, what? How? It's not patched or anything. And the fun part is I see some other people complaining about exactly that issue, that they cannot make it work in that regard, and that they have to deal with 4:3 and it feels weird. And it's like, no, I don't have that issue. It's weird. It's the plight of being a PC gamer. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Right? So, yeah, odd. Oh boy. So, what are we do? What do we do? Where do we start? Let's talk about my vacation. I think we are working from the top to the bottom. So basically, what happened while my vacation. Then we talk about the things we have planned, and then we're talking about gaming news. Yeah. So, vacation. What did I do? I played a lot of Rogue Trader. Like, seriously. I used that vacation to play Rogue Trader with my friends, and we are now 100 hours into the game. Yeah, I kid you not, 100 hours. And we are still in Act 2, so we take our time, but that's good because that game is in a state of just... It's okay when you are playing it alone, but the moment you are trying to play this with friends, oh boy. No, seriously. Oh boy. Like, it's bad. The amount of these things, and apparently we are still one of the more of the lucky players when it comes to these things in multiplayer. Like, it seems like the further you are away from each other, and depending on the regions you are sitting in and all that, it gets worse. It gets worse. But these things are a big problem. Like, we have some other smaller issues, some bugs. We have now some graphical glitches, which sometimes just appear where the gameplay disappears and only the interface remains, and the interface is in 16 colors, 256 colors or something like that. Like, you would think your graphics card just exploded, but that's not the case. You're just doing a restart, and then the game is fine. And it's only the game. It's not affecting anything. We have some bugs that some items don't really work. Some of the quests are a little bit wonky. It's an Owlcat game. You know how it is. If you played any of the Owlcat games, I said it before and I will say it again. The longer you wait for this game, the better it will be. And I know that is true for more and more games, but unfortunately Owlcat really has this problem of sometimes shit breaks, and it will break so badly that you have to go back to a previous save file, or even worse, right? Like, again, take your time with that game if you play it, or just wait. Just wait. That's the best thing you can really do. What else did I play? Oh yeah, 7 Days to Die. Started a new update with a buddy of mine. We are playing that from time to time when the other buddy we are playing Rogue Trader with is not there. Some cool changes, but it's still 7 Days to Die. Like, nothing big has like completely changed. And I mean, the developers have already said that this game will probably never release out of early access or even out of alpha, because they're okay where this game is. And it's like, yeah, okay. Well, that's one thing. Oh gosh. Okay. Maybe we are playing this game actually, when I don't really have anything else to play. I have been playing Cure. And if you don't know what Cure is, oh boy, buckle up. Buckle up. Cure is this one? Why is my display capture not working? What is going on here? Yeah. There you go. That was weird. That is Cure. Cure is basically Vampire Survivors set in the Holoverse. If you don't know what Holoverse is, it's VR YouTubers, right? VTubers, as I like to call them. They're VTubers. It's all women. And they're in Japan. They have some English speakers and all that, but they're mostly a Japanese group who has, like, it's an agency and a production company who is doing all this. Like, it's all VTuber YouTube stuff with, well, those weird characters. I have never watched it. I don't know anything about it, so I cannot even fully explain. Give me just a second, folks. Give me just 1 second here. I have to... It seems like I have to close down Well, that's much better. Ooh. I hope that's enough. No, I think it's still not enough. Damn it. Hashtag professional. Don't do this at home. There we go. There we go. Oh, sunlight. Who's coming up with that? Ugh. Ugh. And then we are back. Fix the light. Haha. No, but that's what HoloQ is. It's basically the Holoverse characters, but Vampire Survivor style, and I'm a sucker for those games. And what's really interesting, it's free. And it's so good. Like, seriously, they have tons of characters, they have amazing upgrade systems, they have cool weapons, cool stages. You even have like a little bit of a Animal Crossing play style. Like, you can like go into a city, talk to the characters, build your own house and all that if you so desire. I don't do that, I don't care. But this game is just insane. Like, if somebody would have asked $5 or $10 for it, a lot of people would have paid it. Now, this is a fan thing, right? This is a fan-created game, and apparently it was so successful that the actual production for company Holoverse came forward and was like, "Hey, you wanna sell it to us? We give you a lot of money, like a lot of money, and you just give us the game." And he was like, "Nope." Because, man, I could already see the microtransactions in this game being insane. Or they could have just put a price tag on it. But no, the creator was just like, nah, this is a fan project. I just did it for the community, for the lols, for the fun. I don't want any money for it. And it's really good. Like, the animations, the graphics, it's like, holy shit. Like, it is so good that it rivals Vampire Survivors in what it does. And we have seen a lot of Vampire Survivors games who try that, but never really fully accomplish it. Right? Like, we have always games which are pretty close to it. Like, I played another one, like Death Must Die, which is still in early access, which is not bad. It also tries a lot of new stuff. But HoloCure, holy moly. Like, if you enjoy Vampire Survivors games, this game is free on Steam. Check it out. You don't have to know anything about the Holoverse. Doesn't matter. It's just good. It's just so good. I know nothing about the Holoverse, so it's still fantastic. As you can see, I've already put like 20 hours in like a week or so, while I'm putting in 100 hours into Rogue Traders, while I'm playing some more Total Warhammer, while I'm also playing some 7 Days to Die. I have a problem, man. Also started some Dragon's Dogma. Didn't really play that too much. Played some Tropico. Realized not really what I want to do right now. Yeah, I played a lot of games in my free time. A lot of them, actually. So this is actually a project I've been working on. I've been trying to fix the PC of my dad. So the PC is fully fixed. But he also wanted to have some games installed. And the first thing, which made this whole thing a little bit more problematic, was that he wanted to have games which mostly run under MS-DOS. Yes, DOS. Now, thankfully, there are ways nowadays to emulate MS-DOS and get a lot of games going. The problem with that was, on the other hand, that they are just games which just don't work with new hardware anymore. Like, they cannot operate with the CPUs anymore we have nowadays. So that was the first two issues. It was basically finding those games. And now here's the kicker. I had to find those games in German because my dad is not speaking English. So he wants those games which came out in the 80s and 90s in German. Problem is, most of the games online, which you still can find, which are under abandonware or something like that, they are not in German. They are not in German. So, unfortunately, that was also like a huge problem. And then this is the worst part, especially when I started to install some of the newer games and all that. His PC is so old that it doesn't have an SSD. It has one HDD, and he has everything on one HDD. And there's only one local disk. So he only has C. That means all the games and his Windows are all on the same. That makes things freaking slow. Like, I cannot put into word how long it takes to load something, or to click on something, or to find something. Like, it's insane. Now, again, this PC he now has, he got a lot of my very old very old parts in what I'm doing, right? He got my old hardware. And that hardware is basically too good for the HDD at this point. It's too fast. So I told my dad, like, hey, at some point you need to get a new hard drive, like an SSD at least, if not even an M2. And he was not very happy about that, so that might come up at some point. But yeah, I'm nearly done with his PC. I have one last game I want to install, and then I will upgrade the RAM a little bit, because I still have some RAM slots lying around, which I can just build in. And then you can finally pick that thing up, and then it should be good. But that took longer, much longer than I expected it to be. And yeah, it took like quite a bit of time. Especially, like, keep in mind, I had to basically remove everything. Nothing remained of his old PC besides of his hard drive. Everything else got replaced. Yes, that counts even for the case, and more importantly, the power supply. So, cool. Like that. Always love to remove motherboards, putting in new motherboards and all that. I always love that. The cable management. It's fun. What else did I do? What else did I do? It's cold here. It's cold here. Like, I can tell you that. Like, we actually got a winter. I think we had like minus 10 degree. And I think we will get minus 15 degree this night. So, woohoo, it's frosty here. Like, I think we didn't have like a winter in a very long time, which was this cold. Which, don't get me wrong, is necessary, but it's just like when you are not used to it. And my girlfriend has nothing of it. My girlfriend has none of it. Like that is not her temperature. Me, on the other hand, I'm somebody who can deal with a lot of cold till a certain degree, and then I have to warm up myself. But for most of the time in the winter, I don't even need heating because isolation, lol, not isolation, insulation. There we go. I always mix them up. It's horrible. The insulation we have on the house is really, really good. So for most of the time, it's great. And I'm somebody who still operates in like 16, 70 degrees inside of my room. I know that for some people that's too cold, but for me it's like, oh yeah, that's nice. Nice. So, but yeah, like even now, I have to turn on the heater now and then just to make sure that it doesn't get too cold because it's freezing, absolutely freezing. So, not great. Uh, oh yeah. Speaking of which, for everyone who missed our little chat on the new year on my Mo Under Management channel, for everyone who was wondering what was going on in my holidays and all that, let me give you a super quick update on all of that. It's a TLDR. I talked about it in length, I think, on the Mole Under Management channel to a certain degree because I didn't want to overdo it. But as you probably know, my girlfriend was, if you follow my live streams and my social media, my girlfriend was going back home because her grandma died. Right. Her grandma died and she was going home for that. And she already told me there will be moments where she will be a little bit spotty when it comes to reaching her because it's a lot of stress on her, right? She really loved her grandma. And also, well, the village the grandma was had her funeral at was like out in the boonies. Like, and when I mean out in the boonies, I mean you are not even getting a landline connection down there. It's like you hold up your phone and you pray to whatever you are praying to, hoping to get a connection. Right? That's how much it was out in the boonies. And like there are not even streets to that village and whatnot. So she was like, "Yeah, if I'm a little bit spotty, don't you worry about it. I'm okay. It's just it's somewhere in the nowhere, right?" And I talked to her the last time on the 18th of December, and then she was gone. She was gone till New Year Eve. That was 2 weeks. No messages. I couldn't get through to her. No email, no phone, no DMs on like the tens of thousands of messengers. I couldn't even call her because the call didn't go through. Right? And well, if you are if you're looking for somebody you really love but you don't know what happened to them, that is a really shitty feeling, let me tell you that. Like I can tell you that the 2 weeks of my vacation wasn't really relaxing. I would even argue that the 2 weeks of my vacation were not vacations. Like absolute panic and stress inducing to the maximum. And I would never have found out if anything happened to her, right? I didn't had any other way besides of the ways I already tried to reach her, and it was a lot of ways. Believe me, it looked. I basically looked like a crazy stalker who's trying to reach her on every social media platform, on every like messaging platform, on every way possible to reach somebody per phone, and they did that for multiple days. right? It's just this, yeah. So good news is she reached out to me again on New Year's Eve because she finally arrived home here again. What happened? She and the visitors of the funeral, they got robbed point blank. So to explain this a little bit, when I'm talking about a funeral, in her culture, we are not talking about a few people here. We are talking about probably 100 people from all over the country. Like everyone who knew her to a certain degree, just coming together and putting the person to rest, right? And it seems like that a group of bandits literally found out about this, that there would be a lot of people there who probably all would have quite a bit of like money and luxury items with them. And so a whole group was putting up blockades when the people left the funerals outside of the village and just robbed them. Basically holded them by gunpoint and was like, give us all your stuff. So my girlfriend, of course, lost her phone, her tablet. Like she had nothing. They basically left her with the clothes she had on, and that was it. Like everything else, gone. And as you can imagine, that's pretty shitty in itself. But you're also like traumatized, and you cannot reach out to, because everyone in her family got her stuff robbed. Right? And then the whole funeral, like she was just done in that 2 weeks. So that was frightening. It was even so big that it made the news in her country. Like she showed me the news article. Like she sent me a link to it. I would not showcase it here because man, they are just putting the names out there, and I don't intend to dox her. But and pictures of the people, and she's also on there. Like it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So yeah, woohoo, great. But I'm glad she's back. She's safe. And so I could at least enjoy the last week of my vacation without having to fear for her well-being. So yeah. What else? Watching the newest season of Harlequin. I haven't done that yet, which was season 4. I know people are like, wait, that was last year. Yeah, I know. I missed out on it. I didn't have the time for season 4. I was hyped for it, but I didn't make it in time. So, yep, I'm watching it right now, so that's good. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. And like, I just realized how good DC is in that show. I'm like, yeah, DC, why can you not just get something similar going for your other shows? Oh well. At least I'm enjoying Harlequin. Still very much recommended. It's great. It's freaking great. It's not for kids. to make that very clear, it ain't for kids. Like, not just the gore they're throwing around. Like, that's one thing. But I just reached the episode yesterday where Harlequin was drawing blank. Like, fully 10 seconds showing off her boobies. And I was like, alright. I can see I have that scene now. Good. Like, yeah. It's a show, to say the least. It's a show. Anything else? There was also a lot of thinking about what I want to do with my channels. I have some plans here and there. I'm slowly starting them. Quick note: there will be a video in about 2 hours on the Mole RP channel. We are talking about Diablo Season 3, which we haven't any informations at all, which is fascinating because Season 2 ends in 2 weeks. So that means Blizzard was probably very happy with Season 2. If they're not talking about Season 3 yet, that means they have been very happy with Season 2. And they want to not divert a lot of eyes regarding season 3 yet. So that makes sense. We will probably get some information by the end of this week or next week for sure. Yeah. But I think this is a perfect moment to just get into the whole thing of what we have planned for at least the next few weeks and months when it comes to this channel. Like, as I said, I want to get a little bit more organized here with what I'm doing, because let's be real, that's what YouTube wants in the end, and so YouTube gets what it wants because it has been doing pretty well. My Mo Under Management channel has been growing, even when I was mostly not there. My top 5 strategy games of 2024 is doing alrightish. I didn't even expect a lot of viewers. For me, it was literally just starting a tradition I want to do every year for the Mole Under Management channel, or want to do it like every 6 months, maybe. So that I'm starting to do that. And it has been doing quite alright, viewer number wise. It would have been great if it would have been more, but it has been doing pretty a-okay. Pretty decent numbers. So, what do we have planned this week? We might actually start with Toonstruck, because, well, we have reached the first goal of my new CPU goal, which, by the way, we are still gathering money. If you want to support this effort, you can do it right here. I posted it in the channel, and we are still trying to reach that goal. Right now, we have reached €135 out of 300, which is not bad, but we are getting there. And thank you for all the people who have already been supportive. I really, really do appreciate that. Yes, we will talk about like some interesting development regarding CPUs and how that might change my plans in the gaming news, because the CES started to happen yesterday, and AMD was like, well, we promised you that we are not done with the AM4 platform yet, so here are some new CPUs for AM4. And I was like, what? Like, I first thought they meant laptops and all that. And then we're like, no, we have desktop CPUs. I was like, What? Yeah, yeah, we are not done with the AM4 platform yet. Oh, well, excuse me. So there might actually be a new CPU I want to buy, which is also interestingly enough fitting in the price tag. But yeah, we will talk about the new AMD CPUs they have announced. And yeah, I didn't had new AM4 on my card. Yeah, 3D V cage for everyone. I mean, it's a great thing, so why not, right? But it also seems like they upgraded some of those CPUs, right? We will talk about that when we are getting into the news. Yeah, and hey there, Mnemonic. But yeah, it seems like those are some like they didn't just put the cage on there. Cage. I always say cage. It's probably cache, right? Well, um, so it's rather interesting to say the least. But yeah, we will get to that point. Um, so again, if you want to support that, you have some money, or you are like, hey, I really like the videos you are doing, Mole, no matter which channel or your live stream, and you really want to support upgrading my CPU because I'm still running a good old Ryzen 2700, not even the X variant. Not even the X variant, for everyone who doesn't believe me. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm still like, don't get me wrong, the 2700, not the X variant, right? Because I never found like the reason to have an X. Now they are only delivering them an X. Like, was a really good GPU up till that point, right? Like it was a really good CPU, not GPU. Why is my GPU hammering that much? What is going on here? What the hell? Okay. But that CPU is now nearly what? Over 5 years old. It was the weird in between series, but it was the definitely much better than the first Ryzen. It was basically 1.5, right? It's kind of weird how AMD is always doing this. It's like it's the same with the new series they have now installed, which is what, the 6000 series? What are we at now? 6,000? 7,000? 7,000. 6,000 was laptop CPUs only. 7,000. Sorry. Yes. 6,000. Freaking A, man. 6,000 was laptop only. And 7,000. And the 7,000 is basically the very first generation of that new CPU. Then the 8,000 series, or 9,000, will be the in-between one. And then we have like the probably 10,000 or 9,000 series will be the finished series of that product. It's so weird how they're doing it. It's so the 5,000 series was basically the finished Ryzen series thing they had back in the day. It's not APUs. They're calling them something else because they now have, man. Okay, you know what? Thanks, Mnemonic. Thanks, Dick. If we are on it. The 8000 series will be like an APU. They call it the G series. So yesterday AMD had the CES, and like one of the newest things they're doing with the with the G series is that they are now implementing AI into it. This is also something, by the way, this is something Intel is also not trying to do. They want you that you can do more AI stuff without having to go in the cloud or having to go to a third-party website, aka AMD makes more money and Intel makes more money. Again, Intel is doing the same shit. They both have the same idea, right? But so those are the ones they have announced. Right. It's basically when you're looking at it from a normal like perspective, it's like, yeah, okay, nothing really that much happened besides of they're now putting in Radeon graphics with Ryzen AI, which is apparently now handling a lot of like the AI stuff, which is interesting to say the least. Okay, but what I was really interested in was this one. So they did announce a new 5,000 or 4 new 5,000 series. The 5,700 without the X is apparently just going to people who buy finished PCs, right? They do it through partners. And then there's the 5700X 3D, which I have an eye on. I have an eye out for. Yes, this is a little bit slower than the 5800 3D. But this one has more cache than the 5800. If I understand this, like it says that with a slightly lower boost clock and base clock, but since the cache effectively reduces so much latency, that's a really small trade-off. So, yeah, I'm thinking about getting this one then, and it's also cheaper. So, well, presumably, we'll see how true that is. So yeah, that's what they have announced. They have announced MPUs, are they calling it? Those are their MPUs. So yay! And they have already said that the actual new series, like the actual new Ryzen series, is coming out probably by the end of this year or next year at some point. But they haven't really fully told us what is going on, which makes sense. They want you to focus on the products which are coming out soon. And so, yeah. But yeah, I might actually get the 5700 3D. Yep. I might actually do that. So that's the plan. If you want to support that effort, the link is in the chat. And for everyone who has already been supporting, like no matter how big or how small it is, like I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And we are getting closer. But I will push this now a little bit more that we are back from the vacation. So you will hear this much more often. Yep. So this brings us back to the actual topic. We will start Toonstruck soon. Maybe we are starting it today, and I'm just starting to play it because I promised you a playthrough of it. Keep in mind that we have also goals coming with the money. So the first one was already achieved, which was at $100. That was Toonstruck, right? So we are doing a full playthrough of Toonstruck. The second goal, which is at $200, is a 12-hour stream at my convenience. Because 12-hour streams are like, yikes. And then we have the 300 goal for PUBG, which I will play the first time. So prepare your butts for that. But yeah. So Toonstruck, we might actually start that today, and then we are playing through it. In between, we might have some smaller games, but nothing too big. On the 16th, that is next day on Tuesday, or the 17th, which is the Wednesday, depending on when the whole thing is coming out. Cult of the Lamb is getting their something of the Flash, the new DLC coming out, which is basically their sex update. Great. And we would do our first full playthrough of Cult of the Lamb with that update. Yes, we would do a full playthrough here on the channel, and that will be our focus point for the next probably 2 weeks. When we are done with that, we have Enshrouded coming up, which I'm really looking forward to, and maybe Diablo season, like end of January, will be very busy. We have also on the 18th new cycle, right? The Universe Sims on the 22nd. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I will not play it. I have been really thinking hard about it. Memonic, have a good one. Stay safe. It might be a quick work day. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, as I said, I probably should have played through 7 before I play 8. That makes sense. Plus, I don't have the time for it yet. We might do a thing. We have also on the 26th, which I might actually play when we are done with Cult of the Lamb. Might do a full story playthrough of Tekken 8, which should be hilarious. And again, Enshrouded on the 22nd, the Diablo new season update at some point, and then there might be even Palworld. So the end of January, we have to see. There's a lot of like changes, but yeah, next Tuesday, Cult of the Lamb, we will definitely do a playthrough of it, and then we will see what happens. Suicide Squad is on February 2nd. I don't give a shit about it. Helldivers will probably play that with friends. So February is relatively slow till Last Epoch is coming around on February 21st. And I will already create some content before that, but when the game is fully coming out, yeah, prepare your butts. That will be a pretty big game on the Mole RP channel in particular when that happens. And then on March 8th, we have Homeworld 3, if they're not pushing that back anymore. And then March 22nd, we have Dragon's Dogma 2, which I'm also planning to do a full playthrough, of course. With that said, that's for the first 3 months. And we have to see, man. Like, it's busy, but it's also doable with what I'm planning to do. And maybe we are putting some Like a Dragon. We are doing 7 first. Maybe we are doing Like a Dragon in between. Or maybe I'm starting my Final Fantasy playthrough, right? Maybe I'm doing that. I still have to do Endwalker. Would love to do that at some point. But yeah, we have to see a little bit what is happening. But I definitely want to give this channel more playthroughs, right? I think that's doable. And then I have some plans for the strategy channel and the RP channel. But yeah, busy. But that's like the plan for the first 3 months. I think it's fair. I could already go into April and May and all that, but nah. Too many things can change. There's too much time in between. And so the first 3 months will be super busy. And then things, at least right now, it looks like will slow down quite a bit, which is great because then I can do some playthroughs. Some of the games I might have missed out on. I mean, Dragon's Dogma 2 will probably take us quite some time, let's be honest. That game will not be done in like 2 weeks. No. No. It won't. So, plus the other things. Like Enshrouded is pretty big. I will start to do some Enshrouded videos as far as we can do that. Some of the basics, I will do that starting next week. And then, of course, we have the Diablo season update. So for the Mole RP channel, the next few months will be pretty busy. And the Mole Under Management channel will be the news cycle, which I'm looking forward to. And that's that. Oh, yeah. So I talked about this in the Discord if you've missed it. Yes, we will do a full playthrough of Fallout London. Yes. Yep. We would do that when it comes out on the... What is it? What was the release date? Oh, yeah, April. Okay, that's the end of April. So we still have enough time. Yeah. Yeah. The 23rd on April. Good. So we still have enough time. We still have enough time. Hopefully not too many games will come out at the same time. Like, that's the thing, right? We have our release dates for the first 3 months, but then afterwards it's just like, you can take a guess. It's like, oh, okay. Okay. Cool. With that said, those are our plans for the next few weeks and months. As always, subject to change. Like, things might change depending on when something is happening. You know how it is. But at least for now, it's like, yeah, that's the plan. Ooh, before we are jumping into the gaming news, I know what we can do. There is a Steam sale called the Capitalism and Economy Fest. Well, that is exactly what I'm interested in. So let's do a thing here. Anno 1800, $15. Yeah, I would recommend it. Keep in mind this is without any of the crazy DLCs they added. So, but it's still a lot. It's still worth it. If you don't have that yet, it's worth it. City Skylines, this is also without all the DLCs, which, don't get me wrong, City Skylines in itself is not bad. The DLCs are just adding a lot of stuff to it. So you might want to, let me see, do they have a bundle? Do they have a bundle for this? $200. Oh boy. Instead of 400. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. The classic bundle seems to be pretty decent. Like, if I'm seeing this right, natural disasters, After Dark, Snowfall, debatable, Plazas and Promenade, okay, and Mass Transit. Yeah, Mass Transit is pretty good. Like, as with every Paradox game, Oh, the new player bundle. Yeah, I would even go so far to say that the new player bundle is the best. It has industries, mass transit, Sunset Harbor. Yeah, I would probably switch that out for universities or maybe natural disasters. It's like tough. Tough. What else do we have? Traveler's Rest was actually quite fun. I hope they will add more to the game. Big Ambitions. Man, did they... I'm not even remembering that this game got any big updates. Mad Game Tycoon. It's okay. I think the first one was better. Tavern Master never played that. Turmoil. Oh gosh. Yeah, I remember that one. Was alright. Definitely not Fried Chicken. Have not played it. Heard some okay things about the Planet Coaster. Same issue with every game. It's without the DLCs, and you want the DLCs. Yeah. X Foundations. I don't even know why that is in here. Weird. Potionnomics. The demo was fun. Unfortunately, I've never played the full release of the game. Oh god, that was in 2022? Are you shitting me? Holy moly, time has been running. Don't know. Transport Fever. Get Cities Skylines. Well, great. I like the early access version of it, but Jurassic World Evolution. The problem I had, well, Jurassic World Evolution 2 was much better because it added more management stuff to it, but it never clicked with me. Sorry. City Skylines 2. Well, it's not on sale, so no. Also, no. No. Just wait. Shop Titans. Free to play. Yeah. Okay. Tropico 6. 50. You are still asking that much money for Tropico 6? Holy shit, I don't remember that. What I do remember is this is without any of the DLCs. So, yikes. Do they have a bundle for this? Do they have a bundle for this? Let me see. Yeah, and it costs only 116. Well, the problem is I don't really know how many I have already, so it should be much lower when I click on it, I think, because I have everything. Oh, there's also Tropical 4 in it? Why would you... What? That's such a weird thing to do. Oh! Wait. What is this bullshit? Oh, it's cheaper because I already have Tropico, the starter bundle, and it has Tropico 6. Okay, something is off here. Something is off. Weird. Let's see, what else do we have? Planet Zoo. Well, fun game, but without DLCs, it's alright. And it's not on sale. Bullshit. Why is it even here? Hey, Tiny. Happy New Year to ya. Hello, hello. Dorfromantik. Not on sale, but man, what a fun game. That game is really good, especially if you like some chill stuff. Why are we doing this? The Capitalism and Economy Fest. And you have games here where you are definitely not on sale. Prison Architect, fun, but without DLCs. But it's only $5, so I think that's fair. Railway Empire, really good. It got some pretty big patches apparently. It got even better, and the first DLC is coming out soon. Like Railway Empire, if you love Transport Tycoon, keep an eye out for this. I didn't like Prehistoric Kingdom. Parkitect, that thing was good. If you want to go back to the old school, why am I blanking on the name? Park Tycoon games, you know what I mean. I'm blanking on the name right now. Anno 2205. Not even if it would be free. That game was a disaster. Hey, one military camp. Man, that was a disaster and a half. They had all the things they could have done right. They had to change so many things after that. Whatever. Whatever. Really not happy about that one. City of Gangsters. The Guild 3. Oh yeah, it finally released, right? That thing came out and disappeared. High Rise City. Again, City Skylines. Cartel Tycoon. That thing was actually surprisingly fun. Believe it or not. Yeah, check it out. I gave my ideas here. Alrighty. Gaming news. Let's go into that. Because we have quite a few. And I want to cover some stuff. So let's do that. We already talked about the Intel and AMD announcements regarding the new CPUs, but there was also Nvidia who announced their new RTX 40 Super Series. And if you're like, whoa, what do they do? Well, the typical Apple stuff, basically selling you the same shit every year with slightly performance upgrade so that they don't have to sell you the older generation, that they don't have to slash their prices, right? They can just say now at this point, yeah, well, we are not supporting the previous generation anymore. If you want to get a 4080, please get a 4080 Super. And with that, the price can go down for the 4080 because it's not in production anymore. It's not supported, so to speak, anymore. But for them, they never slash the prices. The prices will go down automatically because the item is going, it's disappearing slowly from the market, and that's the only reason for it. It's some big marketing bullshit. Is the 4080 Super better than the 4080? Yes. Yes. But it still costs $1,000. Probably more with taxes and whatnot. So, but it will be a little bit faster. It will be a little bit better. But if you already have a 40 series or something equivalent, you don't need that. So that means this year Nvidia will not release the 5000 series, which makes sense because they just released the 4000 series last year, and the Super series is just also there to spit AMD in the face a bit. But let's be real, the prices for the GPUs are still too high. Like, I remember back in the day, I bought it 8,800. Like, not the Ultra, but the GTX. What was it, for $400? And people called me crazy. And now we at 1,000 plus for GPUs on the high-end spectrum. It's price gouging. It's absolute price gouging. But people buy it. So why would they do anything else? Sucks. But yeah, like the announcement of the RTX Super, it's like, yeah. I will be honest, I had a 2080 Super, and most games didn't utilize the extra power my Super had. So it felt a lot like, why do I bother? Right. So, yeah. Next news. Good news. Let's have some good news. I love some good news. Good news are great. I love good news. We are not getting enough of them. But Sven Winke, you know, the CEO of Larian Studios, the dude with the knight's armor, has now announced that he finished, after 4 months of rewriting and abandoning ideas, the very first act of the next game they're working on. He made it very clear that this is not a teaser, and it is not what people think it is, and it's still off for a long time, which makes sense. I mean, if he's just done with the writing of the first act, and he was also very clear that he's now done writing, that doesn't mean they will just implement the first act. It means that he has to now show this to other people who also will make the call if they will utilize it or not. And that will take another multiple months, if not even years. So, yeah. Cool down, everyone. The next Larian game is not around the corner. Will probably take another 2 to 3 years before we even hear anything remotely. And we will see what it is. So, yeah. I'm curious. God. Where's that coming from? Weird. That's a really good night's sleep. So, weird. But good for them. Awesome. I can see that he is energized from that. Speaking of Baldur's Gate 3, let's talk about not so good news. And no, I'm not talking about that Xbox is banning you when you are recording the sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3. Don't record the sex scenes in Baldur's Gate 3. You are getting into trouble. Larian has already looked into it, and Xbox reactions to this was basically, well, don't record it. Don't record it. And it's like, why does it matter to you what I record on my Xbox? It's not even like visible for others. It's for my purpose, and you are banning me? What? Bullshit. And Larian Studio is basically saying, well, we tried to change it, but Xbox was like, nope, ain't gonna happen. So don't record it. No, that's not what we are talking about. Probably, Tiny, probably because the boo bar is the devil's work. I talked about this earlier. I think you haven't been there. So I'm watching the new season of Harley Quinn, and I reached the episode in season 4 where literally Harley Quinn is drawing blank for like 10 seconds. And not this little, I'm pretending to, but literally like, look at my boobies. And it's like, well, reached that episode, I guess. while Poison Ivy was flying into the distance with a penis-shaped rocket. Look, it's a show you have to watch. It makes sense in context. It makes sense in context. It's a great show. But yeah, apparently the evil boobies, it's like the devil. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I blame Tiny for derailing this actual segment I wanted to do. So speaking of Baldur's Gate, we also have to talk about Wizard of the Coast. Yeah. As you know, Wizard of the Coast is doing some very questionable decisions in the last few months. I think it's a pretty good thingy. But they have posted a new picture. And they were like, yeah, Magic the Gathering, new card. Woo! Woo! Amazing. Right? And people were looking at this card and they were like, wizard. That background is definitely made per AI. Like, that is 100% AI imagery. Like, 100%. And let me show you this. This was the tweet, which was, of course, deleted because, you know, we have to delete some evidence. And this is the thing. It's positively shocking how good those lands look in retro frame. And basically the background is made with AI. And people were like, that's AI. We understand confusion by fans, given the style being different than the card art. But we stand by our previous statement. This art was created by humans and not AI. And now I give you about 5 seconds to guess what happened next. That's right. It was AI. It was AI. And they had to make another statement where they are going, well, we made a mistake earlier when we said that the marketing image we posted was not created using AI. As you, our diligent community, pointed out, it looks like some AI components that are now popping up in the industry standard tools like Photoshop crept into our marketing creative, even if a human did the work to create the overall image. Yeah, right. We call that what, a half-lie? While the art came from a vendor, it is on us to make sure that we are living up to our promise to support the amazing human ingenuity that makes Magic great. We already made clear that we require artists, writers, and creative contributors to the Magic TCG to refrain from using AI generative tools to create final Magic products. Now we are evaluating how we work with vendors on creative beyond our products, like these marketing images, to make sure that we are living up to those values. So to make this very clear, yes, Wizard of the Coast a few months ago made an official statement on that they will never use AI in any of their art, writing, or anything. Like they made an official announcement regarding this. And I can see how this probably happened, but it is an issue I have been noticing happening more and more in this marketing industry in particular. Like especially on Twitter, I see a lot of brand accounts just using AI generated pictures. Like Xbox has been doing it, PlayStation has been doing it. Like one of the, and I will call them out here, one of the websites I have been reading frequently has been starting to use this for the header images, and that's Windows Central. Windows Central is now just creating AI art for the headers, and it is so blatant and so bad that I'm just like, oh, please, man. Of course, it's faster. Like, I will be honest, like, it would make so many things so much easier. Like, I see it on YouTube a lot of the imagery we see with, let me give you an example here. Lethal Company is AI art. Because the problem with Lethal Company is there's not a lot of gameplay footage you can utilize to do some really good thumbnails. Like, it would take you a lot of work. And if you're not good at drawing figures, like people are just going the Among Us route with like drawing basically the figures and all that and make it look a little bit like Among Us, which is pretty smart. But a lot of people are just utilizing AI art. It's that's unfortunately the way a lot of people go with when it is cheap and easy, right? But, and I will be honest, it's not like I didn't try. I tried to see what I can do with it, but I realized it doesn't really help me for various reasons. It doesn't really help me for various reasons. And especially, like, one of the reasons is I want to improve my Photoshop skills, and I see that I'm slowly improving them. So I don't really want to do that. Like, another thing, and this is actually now where it gets rather interesting. When it comes to AI art. Let me see, where is it? There was a wonderful example of this, and it really shows the bigger issue we are now getting at, and we will see how that works. Let me see where I can find the tweet to show you the pictures. Oh yeah, there it is. Wonderful. This is from The Last of Us. You probably recognize those two characters, right? As you can see, this is from an in-game picture of The Last of Us. The first one. Except it isn't. This picture was AI generated. And the bigger issue with that is that the person who created this picture didn't tell the AI to create a picture of Last of Us, but to tell the AI, give me grumpy old man with young daughter, apocalyptic scenario, go, video game, go. Boom. That's what they got. Or, and this is really interesting, this, let me show you this very quickly. So, this is another wonderful example. You see those pictures in the top? Those are AI generated. And if you have been watching movies, you probably know some of those scenes. And somebody is saying, no, sorry, but those are Photoshop. Midjourney might, which is the AI program they use for this, might give that look similar to some franchise movies, but what you have there are the actual scenes from the actual movies, and they are not the actual results from the prompt. This is the prompt he used. Popular movie screen cap, AR 2 to 1, V6, style raw, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Which is a huge issue because the AI, it's not AI, it's machine learning. Like we are all calling it AI, but it's basically machine learning. Is crawling the internet for all this stuff and just copies it, right? Like people don't understand this, but it's not AI. It's not an artificial intelligence which is actually producing things from their mind or something from their artificial mind. We would like to go there at some point, but that is not what this is. It's crawling the internet like Google and sucking up everything they can find. And when somebody prompted, it checks basically the database and then puts together pictures from those collected pictures it finds on the internet. This is the TLDR explanation. It goes much deeper, but that's basically what it does. And we have now reached a point where it basically recreates literally copyrighted stuff. And a lot of the AI, they're calling it AI, sorry if I'm using the term, it's not right. Basically, the companies were always like, no, we are not taking copyrighted stuff, which is in itself already bullshit, because when I'm creating a picture, then it is copyrighted because it's my stuff, right? You cannot just take that, but because I'm not a company, they can just steal it from me. Yay. Right. But they are like, no, we are not taking copyrighted pictures. Those are non-copyrighted. And it's like, no, you're lying. And you probably hope to grow to that point where they are not can close you down anymore. Yay, capitalism. Always funny. No, like, again, this is a huge problem. Like the whole AI machine learning stuff, we will see more and more. Yeah. And he even, like, that's the crazy part. He even created like a video because people were like, nah, you are lying. You are lying, right? You're lying. And he is like the prompts and stuff he utilized to get this, right? And I was like, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's unfortunate. Right. And like it has so many issues because you can also create movies, pirate movies with it, technically, and which is even more frightening if you have seen what some of those machine learning systems already can do when it comes to pornography. I think in another 1 or 2 years, yeah, there will be a lot of scandals of certain people doing something just so we are realizing that it's not real, right? Like, yeah. So, woo! The future. So, but yeah, this tech, it will be very interesting to see how governments will react to this in the next few months and years. Hmm. Yep, 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 yep. Next news. This is good, I think. Second Dinner, the creators of Marvel Snap, has been raising a Series B funding of 100 million US dollars. If you're wondering why they are doing this, it's pretty simple. Marvel Snap has been quite successful. Quite successful. Those are the people who did Hearthstone, right? So they know what they're doing. But the problem is that the company who has been owning Second Dinner and Marvel Snap was ByteDance. Yes, the company who does TikTok. And ByteDance has been now officially announced that they are actually looking to sell their games business and also trying to basically get rid of every company they are not, which is not in China. And well, Second Dinner was one of them. And so Second Dinner is now looking for independent partners and wants to continue to run Marvel Snap and the company independently, which makes sense. And yes, they did raise 100 million in Series B funding, which again makes also sense. I mean, Marvel Snap has been out since 2022 and has been very successful. Has been very successful and made a lot of money. So I can see why investors are like, yeah, okay, yeah, we can see why we want to support this. But yeah, ByteDance has now officially today announced that they're actually trying to sell its video game operations. This has to do with certain things happening in China right now, where the gaming industry has been getting pounded by the government. There was even TLDR. I don't really want to dwell too much on it, but the government announced in December that they want to do some changes, especially to free-to-play games and loot crates, because they see loot crates as literally the opium for online games. And they try to be more aggressive against it and the companies who are utilizing it. And when they announced that officially, that they are now doing something about it, the games market in China just jumped off a cliff. It didn't crash, right? It didn't completely crumble, but it was like all the big gaming companies were like, well, kiss goodbye to all the money we made. Have a good one. And it got so bad that the Chinese government just a few days later had to announce that, oh, you got us wrong there. We didn't really want to do that exactly. We just said we wanted to take closer look, and also here, look at that. We approve over 100 games in one go. Please stop selling your shares and your stocks, please. You're hurting the market badly. And then a few days later after that, the person who all spearheaded this in the government just announced that it is now time for more personal time and for more time of the family, with the family, and that he is out. It's like, okay. Well, then, yeah, personal time, I guess. Cool. So that didn't go at all as planned, but there are still some big changes happening right now in the Chinese gaming industry. And ByteDance is just like, you know what? We're actually pretty happy with what we are doing with TikTok. So we are out of the gaming market. Okay. Well, this comes totally not surprising. Unity has been now announcing that they will restructure and will focus on the long-term and profitable growth. And this has totally nothing to do with the announcement they made a few months ago that they would like to take every money out of your pockets if possible. And they also had to announce that they have to fire 1,800 people which is around 25% of their current workforce at Unity. Yep. It's absolutely devastating, in my opinion, that 1,800 people have to lose their job because some dipshit somewhere just saw the dollar signs and they couldn't help themselves. So, yeah. It's it's really unfortunate. Like, I mean, we kind of knew this would happen, right? Like after the disaster Unity created for themselves. Um it's just man, that this is really where my heart bleeds, right? It's like those people probably also worked in areas of the company which were actually making money, but because of all the damage this whole announcement did with what Unity planned to do, that they now have to suffer for that. It's just, it sucks so much. It sucks so much. It's like they are probably enough people who are also supporting this because that's how business goes. I have a buddy of mine which he was like going on a long rant that some people are striking here for more money and for also a 4-day week, and he was like, yeah, it's all laughable and they cannot do that. And it's like, knowing that person for quite some time now, it was like, yeah. And you know why you actually don't want that for those people? Because you cannot have it. Because you know you wouldn't get it in your company, so nobody else is allowed to get it. And that we at that point in time, I mean, those people have always existed, but it's like, man, what is it sometimes? Like, solidarity, yay, boo. I mean, boo, boo, ew. Taking care of other people, what? Me. Oh, so Netflix has announced that apparently they are now considering different avenues to generate income from their games division. Because, after the crazy bangers you can now play on Netflix when it comes to gaming, I think it is really time to make some money from it. And if you're like, what? Netflix has games? Welcome to the club. Apparently, only less than 1% of Netflix total subscribers play games daily. So if you have missed that there are actually games on Netflix, then don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. You are not the only one. But now they are looking to make some money from less than 1%. I mean, here's the thing. From a purely company perspective, it makes sense to do that, because the problem is the longer you wait to actually get people used to the idea that they have to pay at some point, the harder it will get later on to actually implement that, which is a pretty tough thing to do. We have seen with so many companies, right? When they are starting to get this stuff for free, and then people were like, "Hey, wait a minute! You are now asking money? Ooh, ooh, this is right." So yeah, I can see that. Good news. Let me actually show you the video, and then some good news for all the people who have been complaining about it. But for everyone, let me. Yes, where is it? Can I get, please? There's a teaser. There's a teaser. Yeah, it's unfortunately shitty resolution. Let me show you this. So, Riot Games has announced a new champion, and this is Smolder.
Dragons! Runeterra's mightiest creatures. They grow up to
This is a
be
teaser.
gigantinormous and strong. Dragon fire can beat anything. Well, anything that burns. Roar! Oh no! He's too strong! Even the great kings and queens of Camaror knew to treat dragons like royalty. Thank you for saving us, so awesome dragon. Please take these gifts. And one day, the fiercest, bestest dragon of all will be me, Smolder! Roar! I'm fine, Mom. I didn't mean to.
So, that's all neat and all. Unfortunately, people were like, "Whoa, that's a bit of a that's a bit of a Sonic look, isn't it?" Like, ooh, with the face and all that. So the good news is that the designers were already like, ah, yeah, maybe, like, literally everyone was like, yeah, that face is a bit, there we go, haha. That face is a little bit, well, you know, well, that's unfortunate. But they already took some adjustments, and that's a new look. That's the new look. So they show the difference between the two to make it a little bit more dragon features. They will also do the same thing with the Splash team, but they will listen to more changes if they have to be made. So yeah, it's a very generic Disney DreamWorks face. Yeah, Riot is definitely going their way sometimes. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so it definitely looks better already. It definitely looks better already. So we will see where that goes. But for everyone who has been like, "Ooh, that new face, hey, 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 that's a rough one," Riot Games has been listening. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh yeah, one of the bigger news. So apparently there is a rumor right now. Well, rumor. So apparently Jeff Grubb has been saying in his latest talk show that there is a pretty high chance that Sea of Thieves is coming to PlayStation and Nintendo platforms, which makes sense. Sea of Thieves is a live service platform which has been apparently had over 35 million players already. And especially live service games, you need as many players as you get, right? You need as many players as you want. So getting that to every platform is probably the best choice. Now, people might say, yeah, but that's first party. You're not doing that. Well, at this point, Sea of Thieves is also relatively old. Not in a bad way, but it's 5 years after the release, right? And Microsoft has been shown before that they want especially their live service games, they want them everywhere if possible. I mean, Minecraft is still available. I still remember the time when Sony was actually panicking that Microsoft might remove Minecraft from PlayStation when they bought the studio and when they bought the IP. And Microsoft was like, no, why would we do that? Right? It makes no sense to them. It's kind of... I keep in mind, please, those are two megacorps fighting over the money they can get from you. But I find it fascinating that every time when Microsoft is buying something, which is multi-platform, has been multi-platform, and it's also a live service game, Sony's first thought is, you will remove it from our platform, right? You will remove it from PlayStation and we will never get it again. The same with Call of Duty. When they bought Call of Duty and PlayStation was like, you will remove it. You will remove it. Makes no sense. Like I sometimes have a feeling like this is Sony reflecting and be like, we would do it. Like if we would have bought Minecraft, if we would have bought Call of Duty, you wouldn't have seen the end of it. Sometimes how it feels. I know this is just me blubbering about. I have no proof of that. It's just bullshit talk. But again, the moment it was a live service game, not single player games, but live service games in particular, Microsoft has been pretty open. Like Elder Scrolls Online. That thing still gets support on all the platforms. And Microsoft will definitely not stop the team to do that, right? Starfield, single player experience, right? That's something else. But yeah, I don't. Like, I know that some people see this again as betrayal to the Xbox platform, and I'm always like, what betrayal? You can still play the game. You will actually have more players. Yeah, but now I have to play with the PlayStation players. Yeah, I have to play with you console plebs as a PC player. Oh no, the tragedy. Oh, it's like, this whole console war thing becomes more and more bullshit, and it's just annoying as hell. So if they're bringing Sea of Thieves to PlayStation, cool. Fine with that. Hey, I hate exclusives. I'm completely against exclusives. Make it available to the platform whichever I want to play on. I get the reason why exclusive exists, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Oh no. This is just in, folks. Pedro Pascal broke his arm while he was recording The Last of Us Season 2. Not Pedro Pascal? Well, and apparently The Last of Us Season 2 is unaffected. He will recover. I just saw, sorry, that's not really news. I just saw that popping up on my feedly, and I was like, okay. Oh no. So it doesn't affect anything. And, well, I wish him speedy recovery, of course, but why is that now gaming news? Right? The previews, sorry, the first previews for Suicide Squad are now available. Influencers and press were allowed to play it. Suicide Squad's Kill the Justice League. And so far, it seems to echo what a lot of people said so far. Like, it is a Remedy game at heart. It's an Arkham serious game at heart, but they plastered so many live service stuff on top of it that they don't really know where to put this game. So that's always the feeling I got from the trailers. Which is really, really unfortunate. Like, I might check it out at some point. Especially because I like King Shark. I like Harley Quinn especially. Like, again, I'm watching the show right now. Please, if you haven't watched the Harley Quinn show, watch the Harley Quinn show. It is so, so good. It is so good. It's fantastic. But yeah, we will see with this game. I will check it out at some point, but my level of excitement is not there. It's not there. It's just like, yeah, okay, I will check it out at some point. And I'm a DC fan. I never liked Marvel. I'm always a DC fan, and like, especially the Batman universe is definitely something I always loved. But this one doesn't get any excitement out of me, which really sucks. Like, it really sucks. So, yeah. Next news. So, this is good. Last week, Frogwares has announced that they are now the sole publisher and developer, of course, of The Sinking City on all platforms. If you remember this RPG, which came out, I think, 6 years ago or something like that, it was a really interesting spin on the Sherlock Holmes formula. They wanted to do something differently with it and not just Sherlock Holmes. But they had a publisher, and, well, after they broke up with Nacon, it became messy. Like, Nacon was literally saying, no, it's our stuff. We will also remove it from the stores. Nacon has also failed to provide agreed funding. They were also withholding royalties post-release. And it was just a mess. It was just an absolute mess. And then Nacon has apparently also re-released the game, and they alleged that it was pirated, that it wasn't actually the original game. They just took a copy and put it online. And yeah, it's rather interesting. Nothing of this was solved Like, we still don't know if any of it was solved or not. But the game was now finally quietly re-released on Steam 2 weeks ago. And yeah, it seems like they have now the rights. Hey, good morning, Sakura. On the Sinking City again, which I have to admit, I understand that they wanted this. It's their baby, it's their game, and if they want to make more Sinking City games in the future, they want this back, right? But I also have to say, was it worth it for the game itself? Not really. I'm sorry, but the Sinking City was... I think the Sinking City biggest problem was it was too ambitious for the founding they had. Especially the ending. My god. The ending was literally, and now, here are 4 buttons you can push, and they would tell you the end of the story. Which was literally Deus Ex Human Revolution style. And I was in so much disbelief that was a thing. It was just like, what the hell? Like, again, for the game itself, it was not worth it. But again, this is probably them just wanting to secure the IP and wanted to make sure that their game is in their hands. It's a little bit of pride in there, right? I totally get the part behind this. But yeah. Yeah. Good morning, Sakura. How are you doing? How is your Tuesday? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. So, good for them. Huh. Are we really done? With the news? Am I done with news? Wait. Who is Brian Cox? Do I know him? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's watch this.
Every single fight, no matter how big or small, has a story behind it. That's why when it comes to Tekken and the King of Iron Fist tournament, there's one hell of a story to tell.
We will play the story of Tekken 8. I played the demo.
Kazama will face off against
And
his father, Kazuya Mishima, for the last
man.
time. Kazuya is threatening global domination.
Man.
And since Jin is the only other person who possesses the devil gene as well, he may be the only chance the world has left. But how did we even get to this point? What the hell is a devil gene? And why do these fathers and sons keep throwing each other off cliffs?
That is a very good question.
It revolves around these 3 men. Heihachi Mishima, his son Kazuya Mishima, and his son Jin Kazama. When Kazuya was just 5 years old, his father, Heihachi feared the boy possessed the devil gene, which is passed down through generations to the bearer's children. It allows the host to transform into a winged demon that possesses incredible strength and power. So, Heihachi did
Yes,
what
it's
any
as
noble
ridiculous
father
as it sounds.
threw Kazuya off this cliff to see if he would survive.
Yeah. Yeah, I would do. Yeah,
And
I would do the
survive
same.
He did. Kazuya would spend the next 21 years training to become a deadly fighter. The hatred he harbored for his father fueling his motivations. Ultimately, Kazuya would defeat Heihachi
Wow.
and become the first king of Iron First tournament champion. And then, in a moment of poetic justice, would throw his father off a cliff. Years later, we find Kazuya has turned even more sinister than his father was. But it brings us to the one woman who saw the potential good in Kazuya. Animal rights activist Jun Kazama. Together, they would have a child. The third piece of this patricidal puzzle. Jin Kazama. Jin grew up without knowing his father. And after tragedy suddenly befell his mother, Jim sought out his grandfather and would be trained in the Mishima fighting ways by none other than Heihachi Mishima.
And you survived!
And knowing Jin possessed the devil gene, Heihachi would use Jin until ultimately betraying his grandson, shooting him at point-blank range in the face. However,
I mean,
it was
yep.
not for Jin.
That's,
And what would
yeah.
kill any other man would trigger what had laid dormant in Jin until that moment.
Look at those CGI graphics.
Devil Jin was born. Since then, these three men have waged war against each other time and time again. This is until the most recent tournament, where Kazuya faced off against his father Heihachi for the final time by taking his life and throwing the body into a volcano, like only a Mishima can.
He will return.
Which brings us to now.
He has returned.
His complete global control is almost at hand, and his power is seemingly unchecked. However, now fully healed from his own battles, Jin has resurfaced.
Yeah, I played the first 30 minutes of Tekken 8 in the demo, and it's as ridiculous as it sounds. This is why we will do a full story playthrough.
Of all mankind too.
It's, again, absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of cutscenes. So,
In Tekken 8, Fist meets fate.
that title is still bullshit. So who the hell, okay, who the hell is Brian Cox? Giggity. Brian Cox. Who is Brian Cox? The actor. What did he do? A lot of theater. Do I know any of his work? Does he have like a... Wow, he apparently did a lot though. Huh. Huh? Okay. Like a lot of stuff? Dramas? Oh, he did Succession. Okay. That's at least a show I'm aware of. He was the main character in Succession. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we would definitely check out Tekken 8 when it comes out, and we would do a full playthrough of the story after we are done with Code of the Lamb. Oh, oh boy. January 18th, ladies and gentlemen, just in this very moment, we have a developer direct by Xbox. So that is on in 2 weeks. Well, actually, no, it's not in 2 weeks. Am I stupid? It's in a week and a half. And we will have. Let me show you this. And yes, spoilers. Indiana Jones will be there. Indiana Jones will be there with Machine Games. Then we will have Obsidian Entertainment with Avowed. Oxide Games is the Civ game. Damn it, why am I blanking on the name? The Civ game. And then we have, of course, last but not least, Ninja Theory with hopefully like a little bit more like of a release date for freaking Hellblade, man. How does that the hell? But yeah. Yeah, this is their Civ game. This is their Civ game. Awesome. That is at 8 p.m. GMT. So 9 p.m. my time. We will watch this live. I can guarantee you that. Yup. Very curious about the Indiana Jones game. Very curious about that. Should be fun. And there might be an announcement. Yeah. It's a thing. Oh yeah, Ara. History Untold is the game. Cool. Looking forward to that. We would definitely watch it live. Okay. But now we are done with the news. And you know what? We will take it easy today. I will end the stream here. Yeah. There will be a new video up on the Mole RP channel in about 30 minutes. If you want to check that out, I will also post it on the regular channels. It's about Diablo Season 3. And then tomorrow, I think tomorrow we are starting Toonstruck. Yeah. I think tomorrow we are starting Toonstruck. because I'm owning you that playthrough. And we should be pretty close to finishing it before Cult of the Lamb coming out. Because I'm also assuming that the Cult of the Lamb patch is coming out on Tuesday in the evening, as they always do. Yay! So we will not play it before Wednesday. And then we have a few days. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and maybe like some of the other days where I can just play Toonstruck. But yeah, we will start our Toonstruck playthrough tomorrow, which should be fun. Looking forward to that. I will now finally finish up the PC from my dad and also prepare some other stuff, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. ET with Mole in the morning in Gaming News, if we have any, and then we are starting our Toonstruck playthrough. With that said, folks, thank you so much for hanging out with me for 2.5 hours of just talking and talking and talking and talking. Sounds fun? No, it is not fun to finish the PC from my dad. It is so not fun because he literally has everything on one HDD. Yes, his Windows, his games, his everything is running on one HDD without partition, the splitting up thingy, and it is not fun at all. It is so not fun at all. Believe me. I am so happy when I'm done with that shit. Like, it takes so long to do anything. Like, even finding a file takes like 5 minutes. Ugh. I just want it to end. But it will happen today. So no matter what, I will be done today with it. And then I can suck my molehill. Yeah. All right, folks. I will be back tomorrow with Toonstruck. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. And then on Tuesday, as I said, we have Cult of the Lamb with the sex update. God, I always wanted to see some animals just banging, I guess. Looking forward to that one. But that's what the community wanted. So that is happening on Tuesday or on Wednesday. And then we have also the Xbox showcase. And then at the end of the month, we have Avowed? No, my God, no, we don't have Avowed already. We have Enshrouded, close, but not the same. The Diablo 3 season and Tekken 6. So lots of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. With that said, have a good one. See you then. Stay safe. And thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate that. Bye-bye. Ka-ching. Definitely not Fae Farm today. Ha ha.